Hey Z54, I'm back.
Good evening, Elijah. Have you any footage you wish for me to analyse tonight?
No, not tonight. I just got back from this lecture on the recent attack on the Japanese military base. I wasn't there for that attack, but they thought it beneficial to use the footage to inform us on some of the demons that were involved. The main reason for the lecture was to talk about the human spider demon. It's relatively uncommon to actually see in attacks, but recently it has seemingly underwent some biological alterations of some kind that have changed how they influence demonic attacks.
Updates to this demon's information dictate that its recent biological changes include enhanced strength and agility, unmatched senses, and a much more aggressive fighting style.
Yeah, that's about it. Even before the mutation, they could shoot explosive web organs and strings of webbing from their wrists, had hydraulic muscles, could cling to walls, collapse their spine, and had this something of a sixth sense that reacted to any incoming aggression. The most notable thing about the human spider demon, though, at least for me, was that they discussed being unsure whether the demon's mutation was purposeful changes done by the demonic hive, or some kind of natural adaptation occurring separately to it. To be honest, I've always been skeptical whenever a demonic biologist talk about demons evolving or adapting naturally, but I can't lie and say that evidence for this wasn't pretty convincing. Hey guys, Mecha Knight here, and it's yet another video I'm doing design notes for. I've had a few of those recently, even though we've kind of been missing out a bit. And I'm super excited to have them in this episode because I get to talk about how much I absolutely loved Spider-Man Brand New Day. Personally, I went to go see it in cinemas. In fact, I even went to go see it in 3D, which, I'll be honest, I didn't really notice a difference from if it was 2D. But the movie was, extremely good. I know that some people haven't really enjoyed it, and there are a few things I didn't like about it, but overall, it's just one of my favourite movies of all time, up there with, some of my other favourites, like Sonic 3 and the Lego Batman movie, which, yes, those are some of my favourite movies. And I feel like the story itself is really good, but this demon design, not so much. The movie is great, but this is a Spider-Man demon. Spider-Man's meant to be, swift and flexible and fast and swinging around, whereas this one seems a lot more stationary, probably because of the 6 spider legs they gave him. I like it as a concept, but not as an actual design. And hopefully in the design notes of these next pieces, I'm going to get to talk a lot more about the actual movie, because like I said, I really enjoyed it. While the human spider demon was the main point of discussion in the lecture, they did also discuss some of the other demons that were involved in the attack, one of which was the gun demon. This demon is essentially a biological tank, with multiple openings from which they fire biological bullets and rockets. They have a shotgun-like double barrel on their forearm, sniper-like barrels on their biceps, and multiple rocket openings on the protrusions around their neck. On top of this, they have multiple grenade-like stones on their arms and chest, and a secondary mouth on their stomach. I've actually had the luxury of having faced this demon myself a few months back. The thing I struggled with it most was this demon's thick skin. While it can technically be affected by bullets, it's much more effective to use other, more unconventional forms of weaponry against it. Despite this demon actually seems to have a resistance to psychic interference. Personally, I loved Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I love the fact that they were able to make this pretty serious character comedic relief without butchering his whole tone and style, I guess you could call it. He was comedic relief, but he still felt like he was Punisher, and his character wasn't being reduced in any capacity. And in this video, I do demon versions of Spider-Man, Punisher, Scorpion, and the Hulk. And one thing I gotta say about those last two is I was kind of disappointed with how underused they were. Like, Scorpion was only used in the very beginning. I feel like Hulk, he could have just been used for a lot more. On top of, like, that little thing, in the advertising, they really hammered down this line, a spider has 3 life cycles. But in the movie, it was, like, offhand mentioned once and then didn't really matter. Overall, it was, like, that caused this movie to not really be what I expected. But like I said, I really enjoyed it nonetheless. And I know many of you will be confused why I'm not doing a, spoilers ahead, Jean Grey character in this. But, like, I actually have an idea for how to work the X-Men into my Demon episodes. But that's not going to be revealed until near the end of Demonic Fall, the drawing challenge I'll be doing this year, where for the season of Fall, I'm going to draw 1 demon every day. So, yeah, as for this drawing, I'm not that happy with it. It's probably my second least favourite in the video after the last one. But I do like how it turned out. If anything, I just think I could have played up all the guns and weaponry even more. But anyway, let's move on to our next demon, the Scorpion Demon. As you obviously know, all demons have specific roles when it comes to attacks. The human spider demon's role is to trap and grapple with those fleeing, using its high mobility to quickly traverse and trap civilians from all areas of the battlefield. The gun demon's role is to essentially be unkillable, while also being sent to attacks with experienced soldiers, as unfortunately its weaponry has been proven to activate PTSD in experienced soldiers. The next demon they discussed is called the Scorpion Demon. Its own abilities are much simpler than either of the other demons I've talked to you about so far.
Demonic logs do tend to refer to this demon as standard in regards to their abilities.
I mean, I can't say I don't agree, to be honest. This demon's only real abilities are its scorpion-like tail and durable exoskeleton. Despite this, they can actually be incredibly dangerous when it comes to attacks. This is in comparison to their low energy level. This demon's role in attacks is to lead the front lines, killing as many people as possible before they're taken out themselves. Personally, I really like Peter's whole arc in this movie. Like, getting to see how he deals with, like, loneliness and all that. How he deals with losing his, like, basically 2 best friends, and how he's kind of more Spider-Man than he is Peter Parker. I thought it was really cool, and especially seeing his mutation develop and how he was, like, afraid to fully harness it. It was, like, a bit predictable, the whole, like, trying to hide away your abilities, but, like, predictable don't mean bad. If it was handled really well, it can still be good, and I think this was really well handled. Especially, like, I mean, I'll be honest, I was a bit disappointed we didn't get anything to do with Man-Spider, but maybe in the next movie. I'll be honest, I was a bit skeptical when they brought back Ned and MJ right away. I thought we were going to have a few movies without them, let Peter kind of develop on his own outside of his friends and stuff, maybe even bring in Miles Morales, which I still think is probably going to happen after Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. But I really like how they were handled in this movie. Jean Grey's whole thing where she mind-controlled MJ, and how even though they were, like, best friends, they still don't remember each other. And even though they're going to get to know each other in later movies, I really like how it's going to be a gradual thing instead of instant. And it's really going to help Peter's character arc, I feel like. And besides all that, like, not even talking about, like, the plot, the actual movie itself, like, the cinematography, the angles, the fight scenes, was, like, really well handled, and I hope they're as good in whatever the next Spider-Man movie they end up making is. The last demon they talked about was named the Gamma Demon. This demon is unique as, despite having the capacity to be one of the most dangerous demons we face, it's actually on the lower side in terms of demonic energy. This is due to its naturally frail form and simple abilities. This demon being able to absorb radiation to vastly increase its size and muscle mass, reaching truly kaiju-sized proportions with enough time and fuel. As you already know, such a specific ability means that this demon is very rarely seen, so whenever it is, we take the opportunity to research it as much as possible.
Something of note is that esteemed engineer Antonio Stark has successfully been able to use this demon's energy as fuel to create devices capable of healing an irradiated area.
Yeah, I heard about that. Weren't those devices used to cleanse Chernobyl a while ago? It always amazes me what demonic biologists are capable of. I like how Peter's character arc wasn't instant in this movie. Like, even though he's improved a lot more since the start of the movie, he still gets shot in the back and then wants to go out and stop more crime. And I hope they build on it more in future movies, how he's been overworking himself to distract himself from missing his, friends and family who have all basically, perished. As for the drawings in this episode, though, which I haven't been talking about as much because I've been talking about the movie, but it's a nice change of pace from my usual episodes. I think that, for all these drawings, I've been trying to use the brand new day designs specifically, not just the, regular designs of Scorpion or whatever, even though I've influenced a bit, and I think on the last one, that Scorpion one, it could have felt more like the Spider-Man Brand New Day one. Because, to be honest, it's kind of got the same problem that my Azathoth demon from a while back has, where it kind of just looks like a standard demon. There's nothing, special and unique about it, besides the scorpion tail, which, I'll be honest, I kind of give to a lot of my demons. I feel like I could have given it more, even more arms or legs, or given it, these claw things or something. Make it feel more like a scorpion, or even have the tail come off of the back instead of, the lower back, where tails usually come from, to make it more like Spider-Man Brand New Day. As for this last drawing, I don't have anything particular to say about it. I really like the shading, but the design itself is nothing special. And overall, I hope you all really enjoyed this episode. If you haven't seen the movie, I really encourage you to go do so. It's got the perfect blend of, realisticness and superhero-ness to make it a really good and interesting movie. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you in next week's episode.